Bon dia, Eva Corja. Eimear Burke here. Welcome to another Fireside Chat. This is 118, I think. Brought to you by the Order of Bards, Ovates and Druids. As is customary, I will start with a prayer for peace. Gamara Shiakon ar fud na crinne. Gamara Shiakon in our daily agus in our jirha. Ganairi lin lenar cuj garmaka. Gamij buichas jiv, jeh chuvdaka is spirit quivdaka. May peace prevail on earth. May peace prevail in our homes and in our countries. May our missions be accomplished. We thank you, guardian spirits and guardian deities, for peace. As the fever of day calms towards twilight, may all that is strained in us come to ease. We pray for all who suffered violence today. May an unexpected serenity surprise them. For those who risk their lives each day for peace, may their hearts glimpse providence at the heart of history. That those who make riches from violence and war might hear in their dreams the cries of the lost. That we might see through our fear of each other a new vision to heal our fatal attraction to aggression. That those who enjoy the privilege of peace might not forget their tormented brothers and sisters. That the wolf might lie down with the lamb, and that our swords be beaten into plowshares, and no hurt or harm be done anywhere along the Holy Mountain, with thanks to John O'Donoghue. So, as you can see, I am coming to you from a magical place in the forest. So, I'm not at home, and this is going to be a 1-hour chat because I have an early start tomorrow. I'm going to a storytelling festival near Kidderminster in the UK. So, let me see where you're all from. Hi, John from Slough. It is a lovely background. I wish I had one myself like this. Ballina, Killaloe, Northamptonshire. Wonderful. Sunny but cool London. Well, it's dry here, thank goodness. Windy Crouch End. Wyoming, lovely. Where else are people from? I'm trying to work my mouse here and let's see, is it working? No, it's not. Anyway, lovely to see Hertfordshire, Southern California, West Yorkshire, the Netherlands, Denmark, wonderful. Finland, Seattle, that's beautiful. South Wales, Germany, wonderful to see you all. Cloudy Lapland, well, it seems to be cloudy in lots of places. Poland, brilliant, wonderful to see you all. So Brazil, okay, that's far away, and Gloucester. Edinburgh, wonderful. Hello from Ulster, brilliant. Just Bavaria, wonderful. It's great. So we are going to the Netherlands today, and let me introduce to you Anne-Marie van den Broek. Anne-Marie, you're very, very welcome.
Yeah, thanks. Nice to be here. And what a lovely prayer. Thanks for that. It touched me.
The John O'Donoghue one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and so many people from all over the country, of all over the world.
All over the world, absolutely, yes. And so there are people from the Netherlands here to support you. I don't know if you had told anyone you were going to be here. So we've got more from. If someone said we need somebody from Iceland, then all of Scandinavia would be here. We may have somebody from Iceland. Who knows? Yeah. Denver, Colorado, West Yorkshire, North Germany. Just wonderful to see you all. So. We met recently at the Driada camp in the Netherlands, which was absolutely wonderful, with glorious weather. Yeah. Nothing to disturb us except the mosquitoes.
Mm-hmm. You can say that again.
And I was fascinated that we held that the camp was held on what you called new land, where that had been reclaimed from the sea only 70 years ago. And that we held the camp on the seafloor. It was just fascinating to be in a place that was the seafloor, and just so many trees, just so much, everything green and wonderful. So, where are you in the Netherlands in relation to where we were?
I live in Renkum, and it's close to the middle of the Netherlands, and it's the Veluwe. So I don't know if you, but the place where there are lots of trees. It's a higher place in the Netherlands, and there are many trees. So it's the Veluwe.
Oh, Veluwe. Okay.
Veluwe.
I can't say it.
So there's the museum, also the Van Gogh museum, and yeah, it's really nice to live here with the trees close by. So it's I can walk into the woods from my house. It's a couple of minutes. So I love to.
It's, you're fortunate to be able to live so close to trees, because when we were coming from Amsterdam, it's like motorway towns, and then going to that place, what was it, Vierhouten, the Four Woods, and trees. I was like, wow, I hadn't expected this. And then you come from a place, so it's a high place in Scotland, or in the Netherlands.
Yeah, it is. It is low. Everything is low in the Netherlands, but it's from the ice higher. Ice time higher than the rest of the Netherlands. But in Nederland, everything is flat. So what I think it's a mountain or a hill, for you, it's still
a bump.
Flat, yeah, a bump.
So Veluwe. Veluwe.
Yes, Veluwe.
So
the Hoge Veluwe, the high Veluwe, Hoge Veluwe.
Veluwe. Okay, so Marianne Vandenberg has just put it as written it down, so I can see it. I'm very visual. Once I see it, then I can actually add the sound to it. So, what's it like for you? In your landscape, as a druid?
It's nice to be in the place with the trees. It's really easy, because it's about trees many times, and it's nice to go to a place and also to a grove where there actually are trees around you, so where you can go to and visit. And some woods are like a park, because Nederland is really busy. Many people are coming, but there are still places where there's deer and wild pigs. So you can see the wild animals as well.
Oh, lovely. Do you have any wolves near where you are?
Wolves also, yes.
Oh, brilliant.
There are a couple of rudels, groups with wolves. That gives problems with the sheep and some mouflons. But it's nice to have them back, I think. Yeah.
When there were wolves near. We didn't see them, but we saw where the wild boar where they root up the soil just along the path in the forest, and I know there were deer there as well. Oh, wonderful! So, just tell us a little bit about your background.
My background. Now, I will tell you about my first meeting with a druid.
Okay.
If that's okay with you, because I was in England, close to Stonehenge. My husband and I were on holidays about 14 or 15 years ago, and we were planning to visit Stonehenge, and there was a guy sitting next to us, and he was having some scents, and it smelled like home. So I asked, I told him, this is the same. It smells like home. And so we got to talk, and he worked in Stonehenge, and he told us he was a druid, and we were like, okay, a druid, is that something from Asterix and Obelix? We know, but
yes.
So do they still exist? And he was telling about it, and it really interested us. And a year later, so that was in England. We never saw him again or spoke to him. We were planning to get married, and we wanted to have a handvasting.
Lovely.
There was a garden close to us where we would like to have our wedding and the handvasting, and it was run by druids. So And so we got to know more about it, and then started the course and at Obot, and yeah, a new world opened, and it's still really enriching, of hoe zeg je dat?
Enriching, yes.
Yes, to be part of this community. Yeah.
Wow.
So I was wondering, I was wondering, because many people they do find stigmas about Druidry. Do you notice it sometimes when you tell about Druidry that people react in a strange way, or they have ideas about it that doesn't, or that? How do you experience that?
How do I experience it?
Yeah.
Before I answer that, Eimear, I think Anne is in Canada. I wonder how many people first encountered Druidry through Asterix and Obelix.
Yeah.
She said she certainly did at age 11.
Yeah.
And Nimi says Stonehenge chose you to become a Druid. How nice.
Yeah. Yeah, precies.
In Ireland, yeah, we didn't have. Well, I never came across Asterix and Obelix. I keep saying the Asterix and Obelix. We didn't have comics like that, and but we knew about Druids from the stories, from the mythology. Yeah. So usually, if I say I'm a Druid, most people go, "Oh, that's really interesting."
Yeah.
Or, "Oh, I remember hearing about those in school." I don't know when I've encountered anyone who thought it was weird.
No.
Either it's something sweet from the past, as in history, or people generally tend to be interested in these times. It may not have been like that 50 years ago, but certainly now people are more and more interested and more open to the ideas of it. And now I think because people are looking for something other than what they might have had before, in terms of a spiritual path, there's a curiosity about it, and in a respectful way.
Yeah, I do notice it, but I know people who won't or are really careful by telling that this is something the way of living, or something they think about or study. So I was wondering how this for you and the people who are watching, if people recognize it.
Liz Hill says the Asterix books certainly resonated with her. And Pat says people also know us from role-playing games these days. Okay. And then Sky Guy encountered through Mary Stewart's Merlin trilogy, and then through The Golden Bough. John, who's up in Scotland, the response in England is often a blank look. Anything spiritual is off limits. That would have been the case maybe 20 years ago, 30 years ago in Ireland, certainly. I mean, we were very much held under the thumb, of the Roman Catholic Church. And now, then with recent events, that hold is gone, and people are looking for, maybe for them, a more meaningful spiritual path. So people are more curious. And then we have, people in Ireland who will describe themselves as Celtic Christians, and there's a huge overlap. So there's a greater sympathy for it. Julia Boyd says Catweasel came first for me on TV when I was just a tot. Yeah, I remember Catweasel. And then Catherine Farnley, mine was from Robin of Sherwood. And I just loved because I'd seen Robin Hood, many different iterations of Robin Hood growing up. I loved the one, where Clonard play the tune or the theme, and Hearn, where Robin goes into the woods and he meets Hearn. That had me, and I didn't know, I hadn't heard about Hearn, but it just had me tingling that he would go and meet a creature like Hearn. It was like, just wonderful. And then Ferdiad, I've noticed a real shift in the last few years and a genuine curiosity in the new old ways of looking at the world and spirituality. That you've articulated exactly that, Ferdiad, for me.
Yeah, I do notice it here also in my and many people get in touch to ask about it and if they can visit ceremonies, etc. So that's nice, I think.
Can you repeat that again?
People they contact us to ask if they can get in touch and do ceremonies with us, and to know more about it, and get curious, being curious and interested about it.
And I meet people like that more and more and more who mightn't have thought about it and say, oh, wow. And then I might say something and it resonates with them. They go, you know what, I needed to hear this.
Yeah.
Poppy says, the response is weird from people who are not on a spiritual path. But you know what, Poppy, I think no matter what your spiritual path would be, you may get a weird response from people who, because if you talk about the divine or deity or anything like that, if people aren't open, you're going to get some weird response. But I find generally people are more and more open. And then Jules says, I hope to see more acceptance in the place where I live. I don't mention it except when certain close friends, because there's a negative reaction with some folks. Yeah, and that's such a pity.
Yeah.
And then in Philosophical Phoenix in the US, there are two main reactions I experienced. One, a lot of curiosity about Druidry once they realize I'm not referring to those fantasy games online.
Yeah, please.
Fear due to evangelical propaganda. Yeah. And then Nimi says, I was explaining to a lovely, very Christian lady I met last week that we revere nature and the earth and trees. She absolutely understood. Well, you see, when you talk about nature and you talk about a nature-based spiritual path and engaging with the landscape, I think it's very, very hard to argue against that and say,
that's true. Yeah, I know so too. Yeah. It's the thought, about being weird, and when you explain it, it's about being in touch with nature and the circle of life and the seasons and everything connected to it. Then people start to they notice it, and it brings us closer to where we are from, and that's something.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, Anne-Marie is from Holland, and Poppy wants to know. Yes, she is. Now, and Mary Anya Lang says, I get weird responses even from spiritual people. A Wiccan friend said, don't druids make human sacrifices? Well, you know, that I've had that occasionally. And my response is, well, we don't actually have, I don't know how much evidence, genuine evidence is that there was human sacrifice by druids. Maybe there was, but you know, human sacrifice still occurs all over the world today.
Yeah.
And it's sanctioned by governments.
Yeah, and it's not what we do.
It's called, you know, collateral damage.
Yeah.
So, and I mean,
I also tell that we are not trying to do the same things as the Celts before. This is the way of life now, and this is the way we are interested in the Druid in this time. So we will be the ancestors in the future.
Yeah. Julia says, I know several Christians who are so Druid, but they'd be horrified if they knew. I know a few people like that.
And is it a religion in Ireland? Because I know in the UK it is a religion, and it's not in the Netherlands. So I always tell people you can be Muslim or Catholic or whatever, and you can still be a Druid.
It's not a religion in the UK in the sense that it is that it's up there with Christianity and Judaism and Islam. It is there. It's for charitable purposes, so that it's charity. But it's not actually a religion.
No.
No, and it's not regarded. And then you say, Bod.
Mm-hmm.
We don't recognize it. We don't see it as a religion. I think there's some Druid orders in the US that would regard Druidism as a religion. For us, it always gets at what is a religion? A religion is something that's organized around a particular dogma, particular rules and regulations, and ours is much more loose than that, because there's Druidry has a broad brush. So not every Druid in the order or member recognizes themselves as pagan.
No.
There are Christian Druids and others and say, no, I'm not pagan, but I'm a member of Obod and I am a Druid.
Yeah.
That, I suppose, so often we're trying to define things.
Yeah.
And as soon as you try and define it, you're narrowing it. And as soon as you say, well, here's a definition of Druidry.
Mm-hmm.
If I gave a definition now, which I will not, I wouldn't dare. You left out this, and what about that, and what about the other? That as soon as you do, and then if it's so broad, then you don't have a definition. And in many ways, it's better that way.
Yeah,
That
it is.
around shared values. Okay, Jan says, I have lived in a Druidry path for 23 years now. The first few years, I was afraid that I have no acceptance from other people. But when my family accepts my path, the rest of the people is irrelevant. Yeah, my family accept mine, and me, and particularly my mother, who's a devout Roman Catholic, until when she discovered that actually, it's so, Druidry is so nature-based. It's like there was nothing she could fight against. Yeah.
No. And when you were, because so what was your profession, or what you were a nurse?
My profession now, my respectable job.
Yeah.
I'm a psychologist. I'm in private practice.
Yeah, and people are they know now that this is something you.
Well, when I started in private practice, there was no Google.
No.
Okay. So you couldn't look up somebody. So the idea was that the client does not know anything about the therapist.
No.
It's blank screen, and it's they know nothing about you.
No.
And not now. And I mean, I know people have said to me, I've Googled you and I know you're the right person for me, which also tells me that other people have Googled me and have said absolutely no way. So, and it's horses for courses. Yeah. So there's a great conversation going on in the chat, and it's going too fast for me to pick up on it. So sorry, but it's It's I suppose for some people who still get a negative response, it's about, well, choose who you share it with.
Yeah.
I used to kind of just throw out a little seed and see what would happen. Mostly people are positive, and if they're not, then that's fine.
Yeah. I know a psychiatrist, and he's with pension now, but he never told because he was really afraid of the stigmas about it. And he had a story once, and when he sees this, maybe or ever, then he will remember the story, because one person, they heard something about him and Druidry, and he met the one in the hospital, and the one was whispering, "I know something about you, about Druidry," and he said, "Watch out, I will turn you into a frog." And so it was really funny. I find it a really funny story, but I know that he was really careful. With what to tell and what not to tell. And this in this profession, it was really dangerous. Yeah, it could be dangerous for him in that place. Is that the same in Ireland or England?
I think I've never hidden it. I taught in a seminary.
Yeah.
Beside it, in the building of a seminary for 27 years, I've never hidden anything.
No.
They've all known I'm a priestess in the Fellowship of Isis. They've all known I'm a Druid.
Yeah.
Nobody has ever, and these are dealing with priests and religious people. No, I've taught nuns and priests. I have never had to hide it, and it's all been fun.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah,
that's my experience. Others may not, but generally in Ireland, more tolerant. So Catherine says, everyone in my village knows I'm a Druid, and most accept me, and those that do not don't matter. Well, that's exactly it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
People don't like Christians, people don't like Jews, people don't like Muslims, whatever.
It says something about them, I guess.
Exactly. Yeah. And John says, who's up in Scotland, one of the things that I like about growing old is that I can be who I am, so confident. Mention my Druid path, whatever the response. Well, yes, I get that, John, and that's, as I get older, it's like I'm not afraid. I mean, what am I going to do? I decided in this incarnation I would not be burnt at the stake, having been having it.
That's not.
I was in previous lives, but and then Carmen says, you can't say you're a Druid in Spain, although I do and have to suffer the consequence. I'm really sorry to hear that, Carmen. That is so sad. Yeah.
Yeah, there's still a way to go.
Yes.
Also. Yeah.
But there's also, when people know you and see that you're not dangerous or whatever you are, and that you're not going to eat their children.
Yeah.
But slowly, I remember somebody years ago saying, God, you're weird, Eimear. But I like you. You're a nice weird. And I said, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's like, okay, I'm not going to do what you do. but you're no threat.
Mm-hmm.
So can I plain this is the Fellowship of Isis, the goddess Isis. You can look up fellowshipofisis.com. You may it's interesting that Suzanne is asking that question. It was co-founded by Olivia Robertson with her brother Lawrence and his wife Pamela, 1974, and they lived in Huntington Castle in Ireland. And Philip was one of Olivia's students, and I knew Olivia, and he lived there for about 9 months when he was 18, 19. And Lawrence was a Church of England minister and a Church of Ireland minister, and had an epiphany that actually he should be exploring the goddess rather than the god. And so it's focused on goddess worship, but doesn't ignore God either, the masculine. But you'll find it at fellowshipofisis.com. Lisa says, when I was in England in the 60s with my family, we were amazed to see how much acceptance there was for Druids. Here in the States, it's good to be careful, but worse in some areas, yeah. And Sky Guy says, as David Bowie said, aging is the process of becoming the person you were always meant to be. I couldn't agree with you more. I think that's a lovely expression. Absolutely, yeah. So, what am I going to say? So, how...
Oh.
Wait a second. Somebody says, I just need to check this. Mobod teachings call it a secret society. So how do we... It's not a secret society. How do we align that with public acceptance? Obod is not. If it was a secret society, we wouldn't be having these chats, and I wouldn't be having conversations with people about their druidry. What you don't do is the teachings are for the individual. You don't
share them, yeah.
For spoilers, because for people who it's an individual path, so people study at their own pace. So we don't share what's, if I'm on Gwers 7 and you're on Gwers 30, it doesn't help me for you to tell me what's in Gwers 37. So thank you, Pat. It's a mystery school, not a secret society. That's completely different. And there's a big difference between that. It's not about secrets. It's open. But there is mystery. It's full of mystery. And that's really, really important, because we discover some mystery, and some mysteries are revealed to us and some will never be, which is really good, because that's what mystery is about, is working with the magic of that and the discovery. So Ferdy says the contents of the Gorsu are private, so the journey is experiential for each traveller. Most of us are very open and have ceremonies in public, or many, many cups of tea and chats. Absolutely. Yeah. So how has Druidry supported you?
How has it supported me? It brought me into contact with like an extended family, I guess, and people een beetje so where you can share things with and have the same to have discussions with it, or it brought me closer to nature, and because I live in I talk in my profession with people in the office, and it brings me outside and to connect with the seasons, and it brought me so much every time to reflect, to look, to go out, to share my experiences with others who are interested in the same things that I am. It brought me back to thinking about my talents and my interests, and to start learning an instrument.
Okay, so tell us about that.
I'm now studying the doedelzak. It's the name in English again. So the king and the queen would be wakened with a Scottish bagpipe.
The bagpipe.
And it's a middle age. This one from the Middle Ages, a Dutch one, small one.
Oh, you played it. You played it, didn't you?
Yes, and that's what I started during.
Wow.
Yeah. And to do many creative things again, to do more with my hands. This is something which I really like, to work with my hands, and most of the time I work with my head, and so it brings me back to to all of it, my head, my hands, and my feet. So it brings me down.
Okay.
Yeah.
You also sing, don't you?
Yes, and you taught me a song, and I told you, I don't know if you remember, but I told you, when I see you again, I will know this song and I can sing it for you.
Okay, well, you're going to sing it now?
If you like.
Please do.
Or maybe, yeah. So yeah, I will sing it in Irish, and then I will sing it in Dutch. So
you're showing off. That's really, really impressive.
Yeah, but it's your song. So it's, Eis let lores anam na krinje. Eis let lores anam na krin. Eis let lores anam ankorik. Eist, eist, eist. Eis let lores anam na sperre. Eis let lores anam na neem. Eis let lores anam na krië. Eist, eist, eist. Eis let lores anam na morgen. Eis let lores anam na neest. Eis let lores anam na houden. Eist, eist, eist. And the Dutch version.
I'm really impressed with your Irish. That is brilliant. I'm really, really impressed with it. So, anyway, so the Dutch version. I'm really interested in hearing this one.
Yeah, that will sound really strange, I guess. Luister naar de stem en de ziel van de aarde. Luister naar de stem en de ziel van de bomen. Luister naar de stem en de ziel van de rotsen. Luister, luister, luister. Luister naar de stem en de ziel van de hemel. Luister naar de stem en de ziel van de vogels. Luister naar de stem en de ziel van de rotsen. Luister, luister, luister. Luister naar de stem en de ziel van de zee. Luister naar de stem en de ziel van de vissen. Luister naar de stem en de ziel van rivieren. Luister, luister, luister.
Wow.
So how did that sound for you in Dutch?
It sounds amazing in Dutch. Absolutely amazing in Dutch.
Yeah.
Wow. And Marjolein is here. She says impressive text. I don't know, Marjolein, are you referring to the Irish text or are you referring to the Dutch text? Wow. Then what lovely singing, a beautiful, captivating melody, lovely. Yeah, it's my chant. That's so I sang it at the Drogheda camp. It's part of the ceremony. So can we have a translation? Yes, you can.
Yeah.
It's.
You can sing it in English as well.
I never sing it. I only sing it in Irish. I can't chant in English. I can only do it in Irish because that's the magic. Yeah. So, and then there's plenty of Dutch people listening, so they understand.
Yeah, that's true.
And then I don't know if you're Lucia or Lucia. It's funny that in Irish there is a melancholic beauty, but in Dutch it is happy and makes us want to dance. Yes, because you have you have more syllables in the words. So what it is it's Eish let lores anam na crinne. Listen to the voice and the soul of the earth. Listen to the voice and the soul of the trees. Listen to the voice and the soul of the rocks. Listen listen, listen. So you have a long word for listen. In Irish, it's éist. And yours is,
Luisteren.
yeah, yours is a longer thing.
Yeah.
And then it's listen to the voice and the soul of the sky. Listen to the voice and the soul of the birds. Listen to the voice and the soul of the wind. Listen, listen, listen. And then there's listen to the voice and the soul of the sea. Listen to the voice and the soul of the fish. Listen to the voice and the soul of the river. Listen, listen, listen.
Yeah. I'm really happy you taught me that one.
Well, I'm really happy that you learned it.
Yeah, it's a really lovely song. I really like it. Yeah. It took some time to write it phonetics.
Phonetically, oh, well done, well done, well done. And Philosophical Phoenix says, this is so soothing, even without knowing the words. With translation, it's powerful as well. It's a rare combination. Thank you both. It's funny, I can't chat in English. I can only do it in Irish. That's what comes to me. And Mari says, my son, age 9, wants to say thank you for your singing, as I do. Many thanks. So that's lovely. So beautiful. That is absolutely lovely. So what are your other interests? You're interested in herbs. Do you work as a herbalist?
No, I don't work as a herbalist. I work in the mental health care.
Oh, what do you do?
I work. I was working in a psychiatric hospital for 18 years, and now I work at a GP, I think.
Okay, general practice. Yeah, yeah.
And I talk with people about mental health at the GP. So it's it's all the problems people come to during their lives, because at the GP it's children and it's very very old people and all what's happening during they're born in they're going to die until the end of their life. So it's about many problems in life and things that can happen. So it's a bit similar to your profession, only in another what your profession was as a psychologist.
It still is. I still work part-time. Yeah. So and are you a counselor, a therapist? What do you call yourself?
It's called practitioner. I'm supportive to the GP as a mental health practitioner.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So it's a specialized job, and it's especially for at GPs. So
okay.
it's like stepped care. So you have the GP, then you have the psychologist, and then the specialized mental health care. So that's where I was working before, and now I'm. So when they're getting harder, or there are really serious problems and diseases, mental diseases, then it's like you can give more care and more care and then step down. If it
so you're at that general practice level, that primary level.
Yeah.
So Kelly Rose has, and I mean, I agree with you. She says, and this was your feet. I was about to ask this question, make this comment. She says nature is very healing for mental illness. You're reconnecting with the source.
Yeah.
Are you, as a Druid and as a mental health professional, are you able to, within your work in the practice, weave in your Druidry or your nature connection into your work, or have you found a way to do that? Because a lot of and I know from members to say, I want to be able to, marry or integrate my Druidry with my practice more.
I think
have you found a way to do that?
Yeah, I think a bit with stories. And metaphors.
Okay.
And also to make like life is like the seasons, to make people more aware of your life is also like like the
So
seasons.
you use the wheel of the year as
Yeah,
a
yeah,
map
yeah,
for where people are in their life.
yeah, it's in different things. It's also to go outside and to be in the nature and to experience the healing qualities of the nature, but also zeg je dat? To look into yourself and see yourself as part of the nature.
Yeah.
So in that I think in that way I integrate Rotary with what I do. Yeah.
Okay. Beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah. Does it make sense? Is it?
Yes, it does.
It's hard to find the right words sometimes.
Yeah. Just Lisa says, child divorce survivors work some to reduce PTSD, anxiety triggers. Being grounded in the body and nature really helps, of course.
Yeah.
Do you recommend nature connection for your clients?
Yeah, zeker. And I walk also sometimes. I go out sometimes also.
With them?
With them. Yes.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. I would go outside also. Yeah. Yeah, and recommend, but there's also mindfulness, meditation, things like that to, yeah.
Kelly says we are nature. People have forgotten that. Of course we are.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Funny, I know I was talking as if, nature's out there and we should go out and have a look.
Yeah.
We are nature. We're part of it. And then Catherine says, whenever I'm stressed, I always go into the local woods or churchyard and sit under the trees. I do that too. I will go to the trees and ask them to. So whatever I want to get rid of, if it's anger, stress, worry, and I come back out of the woods cleansed. I mean, it's amazing. And then Anne Beer says, how sensible to actually go walking with clients. There's nothing like actually doing it, forest bathing and much. No, you're right. And it's so simple. During lockdown, I had some clients who couldn't see me online. And when we were able to, I would meet them in the woods.
Yeah.
And that was just beautiful. And I remember working in an addiction center where some of the clients there couldn't sit in front of me looking. So I thought, well, let's go for a walk. And it's so
you have other talks.
Imagine people out there. You're not eye to eye. It's this people walking together side by side.
Yeah.
And that even as a metaphor, that accompaniment, the accompanying somebody is a really, really caring thing to do. And it's non-threatening.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Nimi says, seeing the seasons of life is one of the most practical and positive things Druidry has shown me. Lovely. Devara says, is the US the only place that more or less only do drugs? In Sweden, it depends on the severity, but they try not to prescribe drugs. It's not a must. It all depends. There's a suicide problem in Scotland. This is John. Within his own area, there have been 4 in the last 10 years, 3 young men. There is now an opportunity to take part in various nature-based therapies. Yeah. I think it's very, very important.
Yeah.
Poppy says, I saw this great movie on YouTube called Earthing. Connecting to the earth by walking barefoot brings electrons to the body and brings healing to the body and soul.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And even putting your hands in soil. I remember I was doing my herbalism course years ago, and our teacher was using, there was a student who'd given permission who had certain form of cancer. And we were using her as a case study. Somebody we knew that had spoken to us, yes. And it was of the bladder, and she has survived. And we went out to the garden and we created a space to represent her bladder. And then we did it very carefully and very gently to create that clear space. And then we planted things. So this was for her, like her, this is a representation of her body part that needed healing. But us being out there, grounding us in the earth with your hands in the soil, smelling the herbs, I find that really, really wonderful. I love weeding when I can get a chance because I de-stress. So as I'm weeding, I'm actually doing that energetically in my own body. It's just magic.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's nice. And I also find it with the creative to use your creativity in
Yeah.
like writing poems, drawing, or there's so many things you can do. It's about expressing yourself then also. Um,
So when you're writing poetry or doing your artwork, where are you doing that? Are you out in the garden? Are you in the woods? Or
I think
according to Imas, where do you get the Imas or the Awan? Where is it that it comes to you?
it's in different places. It's not in one place, I
Okay.
guess. No. Um, yeah, it's something for example, so now I have a friend, and we invite each other to do something creative.
Uh-huh.
So and then it's in here or there. Sometimes we go out um, to walk and then do something creative. That depends on it can be anywhere. Here in my house, I have a lot of stuff, so it's
Yeah,
easy
yeah.
when you, with the pencils and the paint and the, but also, it's like, I don't know how do you call it, with the seeds, and where you can put a thread into and
Yeah.
then make a necklace. So that will that will be in the woods from the luis. It's in Oom. It's luis. It's
Lish,
lijstbest.
lish, lish.
Lish.
It's a
Yeah,
rowan.
it's the
Lish.
orange and the red berries.
Rowan
So,
in English. So it's lish in
lish.
Irish. I
Yeah.
know.
So it's to be in the forest and to
Making
get
those necklaces.
berries and make a necklace or something. It's then you do it outside, or make a smudge stick, or you go outside. But it can be drawing also, and or make a collage. Then it can be
Yeah.
inside. It can be anywhere.
It's
I
beautiful.
think yeah yeah
Kelly says, touching plants, there is energetic exchange, true medicine. Absolutely. But even with plants, I mean, we breathe out carbon dioxide. They breathe it in and they breathe out oxygen and we bring it in. It's that with our breath we exchange. And then if we can touch, there's also another exchange. And
yeah
Gordon says, yes, I saw YouTube today showing blood circulation improves after grounding. You know, it's just, yeah. And time is suspended when working with the earth and gardening. Yeah. So,
yeah
there's so much magic to be had,
yeah
even if it's pot plants on a balcony. That
Mhm.
has that action of planting seeds, watching them germinate,
yeah
grow, even if it's a small thing. All
yeah
of it has that magic. Yeah.
yeah.
So, what would you say you're grateful for?
I think what I already told, the extended family I got, and there's so many things. I'm so grateful that I live nearby the woods,
Yeah,
also,
yeah.
and the river, and and the sand. I can it's 3 minute walk, and I'm outside,
Yeah.
and that's what I'm really grateful for. But I also have a lovely garden where I can spend time, and yeah um, the sharing with people. I think it's all I think what's important in life is to exchange and being connected to the where you live and the people around you. And I think that's the thing I'm most grateful for. And Rodri gave me a lot of more. Yeah, I met people from all over the world now with the same ideas, and it's really nice to have
Mhm.
such a big family.
It's beautiful, isn't it? Do,
Yeah.
do you have a daily practice?
Do I?
Do you have a daily practice as a druid?
I don't understand. I daily like a ritual, or
Yes. Do you, like, every day? Do you, or is it once a week? Or
no? I don't think it as it is something I do sometimes. It's like it's a part of my life, I guess. It's I do try to find time to be outside and to be to do something with my hands and not to be in my head all the time. That's something I try to do. I try to be good for nature, so with cleaning outside or buy the right things and not to be careful at the earth and what I eat and that sort of things. I guess, and there's still also the realization all the time that I can do better. So there's more to do, and more that I can do to be a better person and to be more careful with the earth and So I try to be aware of the things I do, and that's part of my journey. Being I think I find it really hard to it's not to say I'm a druid or a bard or an ovate or that's so I'm a human being living here and try to do the right things, I guess. So that
Okay. Yeah. So it's and do you belong to a seed group or a grove?
Yeah, we have a grove, and we try to we celebrate all the Imok and
all the festivals that we live
all
here.
the festivals, and we organize sometimes we organize activities in special themes to talk about it, to do things together with other people.
Like what would you do? So you're coming up to Lunasa now.
Yeah.
So what will you do?
Make a strudel, for example, or look at the corn, or
You make a strudel with apples?
No, not a strudel. No, a bread. We will make the bread.
You make a bread,
but also or a doll, or just like with Imok, the Imok cross,
do you make a Bridget's cross?
The Bridget's cross, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and a mice doll with something practical also. With Easter, we one time we made an egg and asked what's in your egg and what will come out. so
really?
You can visualize it and make something and that theme. So we try to do creative things, but also about earth or fire or water. So there's the ceremonies outside, or I like to do the ceremonies outside in the nature, in the woods, or most of the time in the woods or somewhere out and with other people. So we arrange that can happen.
Do you have them in your area, in the woods in your area?
Yeah. So we have different places where we can go, where we can have the ceremonies outside. Yeah, that's what I'm really grateful for as well, because I know many people in a city don't have the time or the place or to go to.
The ease to find it.
Yeah.
Marjolein says you're a very playful group, according to some members, and they love it. So.
Yeah, I think that's true. Yeah. Yeah.
That's brilliant. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Do you have any concerns, for the modern world when you think about it? What's happening today?
Many concerns, but it's 5 to 10 in the Netherlands, in Dutch. So I do really worry about it, and I can be. When I was a child, I was many times so worried about what's happening to the world and why aren't people better for each other and why can't they be just nice and loving towards each other. And now I'm older, but it's still the same is happening, and still the same is happening to me. That I wonder why are those things happening, and why is it so hard to be nice to each other? Why can't we be just more friendly to each other? So why is it so hard? So it's something I can be really sad about.
Yeah.
And I have a friend, and he's an activist. So he's for Greenpeace, and he's going outside and cycling for good purposes. And he is still really positive, and he's much more aware of what's happening to nature than I am. So he tells me sometimes, and then I think, oh, did I want to know this? But it's good to know because we can do something about it. But sometimes I think I wish I didn't know everything. So and he knows more, and he knows much more, and still he can be wondered by like a child, be happy. To be happy with the things that are also happening. And so that's where I try to take he's an example for me how to stay positive in a world where there are so many things going on.
Anne Halsell-White says, the astrology very much shows the crumbling of the old world and the birth of the new. I'm grateful the astrology reminds me of this. And I imagine, Anne, that thing about, a birth of the new, with that it brings hope, where when we're looking at the things that disturb us, it can really bring us down. Lisa says, I think it's a control issue, people being groomed by greedy influencers. Let's just do good and be good.
Yeah, precies.
I mean, it's and hopefully we can. Yeah, and Philosophical Phoenix says, yes, I work for environmental conservation groups. I have to be careful not to give in to despair and wish for the bliss of ignorance sometimes. Yeah. It's more fun to be at peace. I couldn't agree with you more. So, having said that, what gives you hope then? Or, I mean, are you hopeful about the future? Or if so, what is it that keeps you in there or keeps you hopeful?
I think that's what Jordi also brought. That's the life, death, life, death, life, death, life. That it's
life, death, and rebirth of that cycle. Yeah.
Yeah. So sometimes, and it's also like, so when I think about when I'm gonna clean, first it has to be a mess before, and I have to find out what to put. What to give, what to
get rid of,
and what to keep, and then I will structure it again, and it will be nice again. So sometimes it has to be chaos before something can be done. So that's something that also gives me hope, I guess. And that's also something that we think about all the time in Rotary. So what's there in your life, and what's there around us, and what do you want to keep? Where do you want to put your energy in, or whatnot? So something like that.
Interesting. Matthew says, so sorry. After 55 years of fighting, I've given up. No more activism for me. I bought a cabin in the woods as far away as possible and have stuck my head in the ground and treat my land the way I think land and nature should be treated. I think after 55 years, I think you've certainly served your time there, and maybe leave activism, etc., for younger people who have that energy in them, and that this is the time to actually treat your land the way you think land and nature should be treated. I think that's lovely to be able to do that.
Yeah.
And I wish you all well with that, and to continue to do it as a nice model for people.
Yeah.
Lisa says, I've heard from people and the miracle of this life. So much mystery still. I agree with you. And Catherine wants to join Matthew to live in the woods. Well, you'll have to sort that out yourselves, but yes.
It will be very crowded, and probably everybody wants to go there. Yeah. But to start with your own,
Well, what gives me hope is, just when I read these comments, and, when we have these chats, and whoever I'm having my conversation with, but then looking at people who are listening, and there are other chats going on, people giving each other recipes for this, that, and the other, and checking in with each other, and they've only met online, they don't know each other, as my daughter used to say, in real, but they know it from this. And even that community, that reaching out to each other. When someone asks a question, I'm confused about this, I'm not able to answer the question because it's going too fast, but somebody who's listening will answer. It's that. And that gives me hope. This community we have here, and the kindness and the interest. Yeah, so Gordon says this group gives hope. Absolutely. I think that's just lovely. That is, it kind of restores my faith in human nature, or maintains it, should I say. I haven't actually lost it, but it maintains that the humor, the joy, the appreciation, the affirmation. And Marilyn says, we were the people who needed to cleanse the way for the next generation. We've done a great job. Yeah. But it's interesting when people check out or criticize our generation. But I grew up, everything was reused. Things lasted a long time. My mother last year changed her washing machine. She'd had it for 40 years. I learned everything had to be repaired and stitched. That doesn't happen now, but that was how I was brought up. And it's not too far. Maybe that can be lost by within a generation. But I think we keep talking, Catherine says, Obad is extended family to me. I feel blessed and supported. That gives me hope. Yeah. I mean, it's make, do, and mend. Absolutely. I get a kick out of repurposing, remending, all of that.
I think
when someone says it's cheaper to buy a new one, that can't be fixed. It means I won't fix it.
No.
And that.
But youngers, they will fix it again. I think there's an interest for it. It is growing.
I hope so.
Awareness, and to be more aware of everything that's happening and what to throw away or buy second hand and repair it again, and it is happening. Yeah, that gives hope.
So speaking on that hopeful note, we've come to the end of our time, because I said, if those of you who came in late, I have an early start in the morning. So this is a short conversation and I've really, really enjoyed it. So my last two questions are always, what is your favorite season of the year and what is your favorite festival to celebrate?
Yeah, I thought about that question because I saw it.
We're going to ask this. Okay.
I like the smaller. So like I like Eimear and I like Samhain a lot.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it's and I like all the seasons. I wouldn't want to live without them. I'm so glad that there's winter, spring, summer and fall. So I can see the beauty of them all.
So funny. So am I. Irish people complain always about the weather. And I think, no, I just love the climate. I like 4 seasons. I like feeling that cold, crisp air on my nose. I remember I lived in the desert in the north of Kenya, a long time ago, my early 20s. And it was 40 degrees and it kind of dropped maybe about 5 degrees at night. And I slept on a foam mattress. It was just really, really hot. And I longed to wear a woolly jumper. I longed to wear a jumper. I just want to wear a sweater. When I just love to just to feel cold.
Yeah. I like the winter. I was born in the winter and I'm really hot inside all the time. So I have a white skin, but I cannot stand it that much. But I do like the summer as well. But winter is also very good for me. Yeah.
Well, I'm enjoying warmth. I love the weather now. When we were in the Netherlands, now it was hot enough, but I could do it. It was dry. If it's humidity, I find it difficult. Who Devourer says, give me 365 days of autumn. Not cold, not warm, just cold.
Oh. No, I like them all. Yeah, all the seasons.
I do. I like that. Yes, that warmth. So thank you so much for it's a lovely conversation, and people said they enjoyed it and it was very relaxing. This has been very comforting and so grounding. Thank you both so much. It's been lovely. And see, all our chats are very, very different. So thank you. So I'll let you say goodbye to everybody, and
Yeah.
then I'll chat to you because we can look at the comments afterwards. So I'll let you say goodbye.
Yeah, I'm really glad that I could be here this evening, and I wish you all the best. And yeah,
Okay,
yeah, stay connected.
great. See you in a few minutes. Well, thank you all for your lovely comments and for being here and for just enjoying this quiet chat. So short but sweet, but thank you for a lovely evening. Anyway, I'll be back next week, and then I'll be off for the month of August. But I'll be back for one more chat next week, and I look forward to seeing you all then. In the meantime, have a good week and enjoy whatever the weather is. And just many, many blessings to you all. Banachti, Shiakana Suvnis, Jeev Sugaler. So peace and tranquility. Blessings to you all. Until we meet again next week. Iwa, good night, good morning, good afternoon, or if you're watching a recording of this chat, until we meet again, Slán go fóill.